Yeah, so listen, I've gotten some excerpts of the speech that the president is going to deliver. He's going to be talking about a golden age of America. He's going to be talking about his positivity ratings, people feeling like the country is going in the right direction rather than the wrong direction. He's going to talk about the big swing in the poll numbers around that, and I think that's going to be something that's going to try and separate the average voter from the media class, which of course says Trump is doing a terrible job and is horrible and is this huge threat to democracy. He's going to focus a lot on prices. He's going to acknowledge the cost of eggs, which has become a big issue, Kieran, because there was a big bird flu outbreak in the United States several months ago, and the price of eggs skyrocketed, and that's become a big symbolic thing for the Democrats. Say, oh, well, how's the price of eggs going? When, of course, it's not really Trump's fault. He's only just been in office. But he's also going to talk about energy as a key way to bring down prices and the authorization to start drilling and exploring for energy again. And, I think this is the sort of thing, Kieran, that an awful lot of people in Australia will identify with, this idea of getting energy out of the ground to bring down prices. And I think that's something else that Donald Trump is going to hit very hard.
Yes, indeed. And as you see there, Annalise, our viewers can see the members of the Trump cabinet arriving, and we did see Elon Musk there with as I said, he's wearing a suit and tie, which is unusual for him, but he is in the Congress and he's been placed not far from the First Lady. So that was the answer to our question. A significant figure in this Trump presidency and a significant placement in the Capitol today.
And that's a lot of the Trump administration defying the criticism as well, because Elon has become a controversial figure. There's been concern that he wasn't a vetted candidate for this position that he's been given. Normally, even Trump administration appointments have to be confirmed by Congress, and he wasn't. But essentially, he's just there to clean the place out. And so I've been saying he's like the McKinsey consultant who's just been brought in to shake things up and then is going to leave at some point, and that's how Trump likes it. I can also tell you that of those people that are invited to this joint address, State of the Union, there is a diplomatic corps, and so ambassadors are invited. Our ambassador, Kevin Rudd, hasn't been invited this year, but it's not necessarily an assumption that ambassadors will be invited in any given year. They tend to rotate it, is my understanding. And I do also understand that the ambassador is meeting with trade officials from the Trump administration this evening. So there is still that ongoing approach about trying to negotiate Australia's position with tariffs. Of course, us and every other country in the world that wants a break from these tariffs that are going to be implemented on steel and aluminium. And the administration hasn't been too friendly on that front, but we know there's always a deal to be done and a trade to be made. So there are still the efforts being made by every embassy in Washington, D.C. So that's another aspect to all this. And when we're looking at who's invited, there's always the kind of guests that make a political point. And so we're seeing a few of those who've been invited. Young women who've been injured by trans athletes have been invited. There's been efforts about trying to have more servicemen and women included in those who've been invited. And so we'll be keeping an eye on all those extra guests as well.